First, we'll explain the technique of approach grafting with tomatoes. Tomatoes are a vegetable that's growing all over the world. Quality table tomatoes have high marketability and popularity in Japan. But tomatoes grown in protected cultivation using the same field can suffer various disease injuries as a result of continuous cropping. As a solution, we take a tomato that's resistant to diseases for rootstock and another tomato of high quality and put them together by approach grafting. This allows us to continue the production of tasty tomatoes free of disease. The approach grafting procedure is like this. Prepare 2 seedlings or the rootstock and the scion with their roots spread in the soil. Make a cut into the stem of each seedling to a depth equal to 2/3 the diameter of the stem and splice them together. The rootstock is usually a variety that's resistant to diseases, and the scion is one capable of growing quality tomatoes. Here's the specific procedure of approach grafting with tomatoes. Sow seeds of slow-growing tomatoes as the rootstock. 3 days later, sow seeds of the tomatoes to be used as scions. When the seedlings of both varieties have 3 to 4 true leaves, they're ready for grafting. Now let's begin. First, make the bed soil on which the seedlings will be grown. Sieve the soil to make the soil particles uniform in size. The conditions of the bed soil are: it is rich in fertilizer nutrients, drains water well but holds enough water, and is free from diseases, and has an aggregate structure with excellent water retentivity and drainage. Put soil in the seedling box and level the soil. Make seeding furrows to the depth of about 1 centimeter in the soil. Sow tomato seeds in the soil in the seedling box to grow rootstock. Sprinkle finely sieved soil over the seeds as a soil covering. Remove unnecessary soil using a plate. After sowing, sprinkle plenty of water and then cover the watered soil with newspaper to prevent drying. 3 days later, sow tomato seeds to grow scions. After sowing, cover the seeds with fine soil particles and level the covering as a case of rootstock. Similarly, sprinkle plenty of water over the soil and don't forget to cover it with newspaper. Let's now look at the post-sowing management procedure. Keep the daytime temperature in the seedling box under 30 degrees Celsius, ideally around 25 degrees Celsius. If the temperature rises above 30 degrees Celsius, shade the sunlight to reduce the temperature. Keep the temperature at night not less than 20 degrees Celsius. Periodically sprinkle water and cover the soil with newspaper to prevent the seedling box from drying out. When germination starts, remove the newspaper. When you see 3 or 4 true leaves forming, it's time for grafting. Before grafting, check whether there is anything wrong with the appearance of each seedling and make sure they are not off-type seedlings. Select only the normal ones. The tools used for grafting are a new razor, clips to fix the grafted parts, and transplanting pots. Make holes in the soil of each pot to transplant the grafted seedlings in. Now let's start approach grafting. First, pull out the roots of each rootstock without damaging them. For the rootstock seedlings, leave the 3 true leaves and remove the upper part. Then pull out the seedlings of the scions. Now let's begin grafting. The seedling should be grafted between the first and the second true leaf of the rootstock. It may be grafted under the first true leaf. First, make a cut in the seedling stem of the stalk diagonally downward. Make a cut up to the depth equal to 2/3 the diameter of the stem. After preparing the rootstock, make a cut in the seedling stem of the scion. For the scion, the cut is in the opposite direction to that of the stalk. That is, make a cut diagonally upward. After cutting both the stalk and the scion, graft them together. Fix the grafted part with the clip from the scion side. Plant the grafted seedlings into a transplanting pot with the finger-wide space between them. If the sunlight is too strong, shade the grafted seedlings for 2 to 3 days to prevent sudden withering by transpiration. After approach grafting the seedlings, crush the stem under the scion to check if the graft is taken. If it has, sever the stem of the scion. Let's see what the cross-section of the graft union looks like. Here you can see that the tissues of the stems are connected.